So I wanted to do a video on this post. I think this is a post from, well, the post is a new post, but I think this is a video from a while back. It's about this gentleman. It's the Club of Rome's Dennis Meadows. He states, and again, I think from what I understand from reading somebody else's post that this video is from a little while back, but actually it doesn't matter because this plan has been going on for a very, very long time. And so this is part of the whole New World Order, World Economic Forum, World Economic Forum. I always want to say foundation for some reason, but World Economic Forum. And then, of course, you have this piece of garbage. This guy is the Club of Rome's Dennis Meadows hopes that the human population can be reduced down to 1 billion people, an 88% reduction from today's population in a civil way. In a civil way. Notice he says civil way. Well, what is the other way? If they can't do it in a civil way, what other way would they do it? Well, they will perhaps use vaccines to poison you, poison the water, poison the air, perhaps start a massive civil war between the populations, which all this is happening right now. So they are working on it. And finally, if they can't make that happen to the way they want to, where there's still too many people that they've decided a lot more have to go, guarantee they will, as more and more reduced, they will eliminate people. So anyway, his statement is the planet can support something like 1 billion people. Not a planet, by the way, it's a realm. I know I'm not going to get into that right now. A spiritual realm. Everything they tell you about it being a planet is a lie. I'm not getting into it right now. Again, also, that's not what the video is about right now. Maybe so the planet can support something like 1 billion people, maybe 2 billion people. Now he's decided how many people for all of you. He's decided, and this is the garbage, the parasites of this evil garbage that decides how many people this earth, this realm can support. Well, only God can decide that, not this piece of garbage. The planet can support something like 1 billion people, maybe 2 billion, depending on how much liberty and how much material consumption you want to have. If you want more liberty and more consumption, you have to have fewer people. Oh, yeah. Who's decided that? And conversely, you can have more people. I mean, we could even have 8 or 9 billion, which they state we have, probably if we have a very strong dictatorship. And they're going to have actually a very strong dictatorship, the New World Order, digital IDs, CBDCs, then it's going to be the mark of the beast. And this will be with the lower numbers by then anyway. Anyway, let's listen to what this piece of garbage has to say.
In one way or another, we are so far, globally, we are so far above the population and the consumption levels which can be supported by this planet that I know in one way or another it's going to come back down. So I don't hope to avoid that. I hope that it can occur in a civil way, and I mean civil in a special way, peaceful. Peace doesn't mean that everybody's happy, but it means that conflict isn't solved through violence, through force, but rather in other ways. And so that's what I hope for. That we can, the planet can support something like 1 billion people, maybe 2 billion, depending on how much liberty and how much material consumption you want to have. If you want more liberty and more consumption, you have to have fewer people. And conversely, you can have more people. We could even have 8 or 9 billion probably if we have a very strong dictatorship, which is smart. Unfortunately, you never have smart dictatorships. They're always stupid. But if you had a smart dictatorship and a low standard of living, you can have it. But we want to have freedom and we want to have a high sentence, so we're going to have 1 billion people. And we're now at 7, so we have to get back down. I hope that this can be slow, relatively slow, and that it can be done in a way which is relatively equal, so that people share the experience, and you don't have a few rich, trying to force everybody else to deal with it. So those are my hopes. I mean, these are pretty pessimistic hopes, but that's what lies ahead.
Well, all right. So again, who decides that? These guys, who's going to decide who is the one, who are the billions of people who are going to have to be so-called removed? And who's going to decide who stays and who gets to live here? And by the way, he mentioned the rich. I hope it doesn't, won't be a few rich people. Well, we know that's exactly who it will be, controlling the people in power. This guy is, his organization is part of the Luciferian New World Order by 2030 organization. So this guy is part of a Luciferian Satanistic organization. Anyway, I have another video that I actually put a reply below that, just showing you what Grimes, Elon Musk's baby mama, Grimes, said about reducing the population. This is just a small clip underneath.
Jobs start being, what are we going to do as people's jobs start being taken fairly aggressively? Luckily, there's a massive population drop coming, so maybe everything is just fate and it's going to work out okay. But I feel like we might get like very, very, very good AI across every pillar of art before there aren't any more people to make art.
So anyway, you can see where this is going. Again,
what are we going to do as people's jobs start being taken fairly aggressively? Luckily, there's a massive population drop coming, so. All
right, I guess that was good. She repeated it a few times in case you missed it the first time. Anyway, so this is, you have to remember, you have the first guy, which is the Club of Rome, which is just like the World Economic Forum. I always going to say foundation. I don't know why I always, World Economic Forum, New World Order, Club of Rome, all these people, all these different part of the same evil cabal. This is their plan. And, you can call it a conspiracy theory, but sooner or later it's going to hit you right in the face and you're going to have to recognize the truth. It's amazing how you see all these things happening, even with the digital IDs, the mass immigration and migration of people from third world countries into first world countries, destroying those third world countries. This is all being done on purpose. Be aware of that. The important thing is that you're aware of that. And the important thing is that when the time comes, I believe you stand up and fight. That's just my personality. I believe you don't accept the mark of the beast. I believe you don't accept digital IDs. And I understand what the Bible says when it comes down to the final end days, that you should run for the hills. And at that time, if that's what people choose to do, is after they've fought and did the best they can, because it is God's will either way. But I still say fight till the end. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.